Okay, hello. Welcome to this webinar. It's our first webinar, which is pretty exciting. Um, while we were waiting for the rest of the EVA team member to join us, um, hopefully you had the chance to experiment with the system a little bit. So before we dive into Facebook ad campaigns, let's see if we can. Oh, here we got Timo. Great. Hi, Timo. Oh, Didra is also here. Beautiful. Great. So we had 15 minutes to experiment with the system. It's pretty straightforward. It's my first time that I'm using it, this system. So it's a first timer for me as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to sort everything out. The basic idea of the webinar is that I'm presenting the relevant tool. It will take me around 30 to 40 minutes to present. Afterwards, we'll have time for questions, audio questions. I'll be able to hear you. We can communicate. You have an icon. If you see on your box, there is a hand there. So if you have a question after I'm finishing up, you can raise your hand, virtually raise your hand, and I'll be able to see your question or hear your question, and I'll be able to communicate and respond. So that's the basic idea. And if you'll see, you have this question box that I'll be able to see as well. So hopefully you can see my screen. Everybody can see my screen? Yeah? Maria, yeah? Susan? Okay, great. Oli? Okay, if anybody doesn't see, please let me know. Cool. All right, great. So we're set up. All right, so I'm going to turn off my camera now, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so this is pretty exciting, and this is our first webinar. And the purpose of the webinar is to really get you be more comfortable with the Facebook ad tool. Oh, Timo has a question. Just a second. Yeah, Timo? Timo has a question. Are you connected? Okay. Um, Timo? Okay, sorry. So again, I'll be answering questions once I'll wrap up the presentation. The purpose of this webinar is to really get you familiarized with the Facebook ad campaign. So if you've been good students, as I'm sure that you all have been a very good student, you created your keywords, you recognize your audience, and you even set up a landing page or a website for your film, your project, um, your script, and you had some time to experiment a little bit with the Facebook ad tool. Now, if you didn't do all of those things, that's okay. But this purpose kind of presentation will be serving you to recognize some tools that I'm going to go over. And again, if you have questions, we'll go over them. So let us begin. For the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to use our page, our service, which is Distrify, which is this website that I'm sure that everybody is recognizing. And for Distrify Media, of course, we need a Facebook page, which this is the page that we're running for the service. Most of you probably saw that and liked it, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a campaign and I'm going to go over all stages. All right. So in order to create a campaign, I'm going to the drop down menu and I'm going to use create ads. Now, once you've chosen your advertising objective, and if you remember, I've asked the group to send people to the website. So this is your objective. The first step to identify your audience is to define who is eligible to see your ad. Choosing a highly relevant audience is important, so you want to increase the likelihood that people will not only interact with your ad, but they'll perform the intended objective. Now, at this point, we've identified our objective, and that's to get clicks to our website. So I'm going to click this option, and you're going to see this window open. And for that, you're going to enter your URL. So for this instance, I'm going to type distrify.com. Facebook will check and will authorize it. Now, disregard choose a pixel. This is going to be for a later stage and more advanced stage. And this is how you're really starting your campaign. Now, I'm going to set my audience and budget, hit the button. And this is the first window that I'm going to see. In this section, we're presented with a list of options, but for now, we're going to focus on the first 5, which is location, age, gender, languages, and demographic. I'll walk you through to configure each one and provide some guidance into making the right choices. Now, before we get started, I'll be referring to this graphic on the right here. This is a very important tool, which is your kind of audience definition meter. It looks like a gas meter. I'll be referring to the graphic on the right hand side that looks like, I don't know, like a fuel meter. As we make our selection, Facebook will provide detailed summary of the choices. And this meter will indicate our potential reach and how specific or broad our targeting is. Now, as we configure out this ad, watch this information on the right-hand column change. You'll see this meter is changing all the time. You'll see whether or not the definition becomes more specific, and you'll see the reach decreases. Now, use the meter as a guideline. As you advertise more and more, you start to get a sense of how specific you need to be to generate the type of response you desire. You'll also get new ideas based on the data and results of your previous efforts. Now, the only targeting option that requiring Facebook is country targeting. Now, the first thing that you see here is that Facebook recognizes that I'm from Israel. But of course, you need to change that according to your needs. So for this instance, remember the campaign, which I should have mentioned before, is for me to get filmmakers or content creators like yourself to discover this refile and hopefully use it for the VOD needs. Now I'm going to define a territory within New York. So I'm going to type here custom audience you can disregard for now. Here I'm going to click New York. Okay, so now you see the meter. It changes 12 million people. This is very, very, very broad, right? Another thing that you can do is exclude territories. So here we go to the drop-down menu. You have include and exclude. Let's say I want, for some reason, I want to exclude Brooklyn. Excluding Brooklyn, you see the meter goes down. Now, if you remember at the seminar in Amsterdam, I talked about defining your audience and being very specific. You don't want a huge, huge audience. You want to maintain a very small audience that will be interested in your ad campaign. So again, our goal, our focus is to create a very narrow audience that will be interested in our films, in our services, whatever it is that we are doing. So now we can go ahead and define our age. For the first campaign, it's just really something that it's intuition. We don't really know. But it's fairly safe to start off with 25 to 45 range group. So let's do that. Here, 45. Okay. And it's another good idea to define your language, because if you're going to create an ad in a certain language, you want people to communicate with this language. So I'm going to define English. English all. Okay, great. So let's see the meter, still very broad, right? Now, as we configure this ad, we're going to see the interest group. Interest targeting is the backbone of Facebook advertisement. Facebook collects data on its users based on information they've added to their timeline, the topic related to the pages they like, keywords in their status updates, apps they use, or any ads they previously clicked. Facebook then assigns these users to group of high-level interest, and you use those interests to target people most likely to click your advertisement. So play around with your targeting option until you identify a number that seems reasonable. Okay, so let's go to the interest group. Here you can see that it really gives you a few options: demographic, interest, behavior. We want to go to interest. And I'm targeting, I don't know, indie filmmaker or indie film or indie film funding. Now you see the meter is really at the low bottom. It's fewer than 1,000 people, and that's not good. We need to broaden that a little bit. Let's add NYU film. Okay. Still fewer than 1,000 people. We want to add another layer. Let's go to IndieWire. I know that IndieWire has a lot of filmmakers. Let's add that. Now we are at 24,000 people. Great. So that's more or less the number that I need. A very good idea is not to go wild with the interest group, not to add too many interest group, just to really keep it short, but also as specific as possible. Let's see if we can add something more. Let's support, let's see, indie film, support indie film. Okay, so still I'm at the 24,000 range, which is great. All right, now once we've decided our audience and we are satisfied with the number, we're going to the window that most people are terrified from, which is the budget. After we configure our targeting, we need to decide how much we want to spend. When you first start out, it can be difficult to determine how much is the right amount to spend on your campaign. Now, I wish there was an easy solution or magic number that I could give you, but the truth is that your budget is largely determined by your goals. The first thing that Facebook is going to suggest is a budget per day. So here we have a daily budget and we have a lifetime budget. Okay? In this case, the lifetime budget, it will let you choose a start and end date, including the exact time. Now you might use this if you have a campaign that has a specific window. During the time period, Facebook's going to try and spend the entire budget. When you're just starting out, it might be easier to try a lifetime budget so that you can rest assured that you are not going to exceed a certain amount. Now, there's no guarantee that Facebook will spend that entire amount, but at least you've got a cap. Now, as I've asked you before, and I'm sorry it's in shekels and it's it's a little bit difficult to understand, but shekels is divided by 4.80, that will give you the euro. But the budget that I requested was around 500 shekels, which is roughly 100 euro. You have your start and end date, and if you have started to experiment with it, you will see that for a limited budget, it will give you a timeline of 3 to 4 days. Just a second only. You have a question? Sorry. Going to see what is the question. Oops. Oh, here. Do you see her appear on the screen? Sarah cannot connect. Sarah, no, I can't see her. Can't see Sarah. Sorry. No, I can't see her. All right, let me get back to the webinar. Um, we'll probably get Sarah the recording afterwards. Hopefully, she'll be able to connect. Okay, so if you started experimenting with the atoll, you'll probably notice that Facebook won't give you 7 days or 5 days to spend a very limited budget. It will give you around 2 or 3 or 4 days max. The reason for that is because Facebook wants to maximize its ability to reach people and get them to interact with your ad. Um, so we define our budget, we define the dates. Let's say we are signing today, and we're going to finish it on the December 13. Okay, great. Now we're going to be more specific. Here is the optimization for ad delivery, and we're going to focus on links, clicks to your website. So what does it mean? It means that we're going to target people who are going to click our ad and going to be redirected to our website. So here we have links to clicks, we have impressions, daily unique users. Impressions is a wider, broad term that I'll go over in another time. So we're going to be focused on links to clicks. We're going to choose that. Now we're going to choose manual, and we're going to see the bidding. Now the bidding price is determined as default by Facebook according to your interest group and audience definition. Sorry. So here you see that Facebook gives you an estimation. Now the reason that I recommended €1.50 is that for the first time we want to understand how Facebook ads are interacting with an audience. And for that we need to, let's say, beat the competition. And it may seem a little bit high, but once you start using this budget, you'll see that Facebook actually is not spending the whole €1.50. It could be even less. It could be 70 or 60 cents. But it really depends on how detailed and how specific you manage to get your audience. So if the audience is people who are not really interested in your ad, you're going to spend the full amount. But if you got them really interested and they are going to click your ad, you're going to see that your bidding price is going to be low. So it might sound a little bit confusing, but once you start experimenting, you'll get the idea. And I'm also going to go over it shortly. Okay, so now we have our bidding price. We have everything set up, and we can have the ad set name. So let's call it Mystify EWA campaign. Now, if everything is set up, we're going to choose Add Creative. Great, everything is set up. Now, before we going into the Add Creative, I want to, okay, no, let's first go over the creative. So in the creative, it's very important to realize how Facebook ads is working in terms of creative. So always choose single image or videos in your ads. Don't choose multiple images. Now let's go and select images. I have my images already ready. You're going to need to have your ad set at 1200 on 6 to 8 pixels. This is the recommended size. So you can use Photoshop, or you can use Pixelmator, and you can, this is Pixelmator if you see my screen, and you can define the image. So the recommended size is 1200 on 6 to 8 pixels. Great. Now, we're going to choose a few images. So let's choose one, two, three. Okay, great. And we're going to hit done. Now you can see that Facebook is going to default your image. And you can see your different images at the add preview stage. Now it's supposed to give me my other images. And here it is. It's a little bit slow today. Yep, so we have three images and now we have some creative. So be very provocative or be very creative with your headlines because this is going to determine if you're going to be able to get users to interact with your ad. If it's not interesting, most likely people won't interact. If it's engaging, most likely people will want to hear more. So for Distrify, let's say something like, I don't know, at the headline, can't sell your video. Every filmmaker needs to use this, right? Just a second. Okay. And at the text level, distrify your films. This changes everything. Something like that. And you can see that Facebook gives you a preview of how your ad is going to look like. Okay, so from time to time you're going to get this warning sign. You can also probably disregard it. It's best to keep to 25 characters, but if you exceed it, it's okay. Most screens or most mobile devices or most screens, desktop PC, it's going to be fine. But try to keep to 25 characters. Um, Now, this call to action button is very important. This is where people will hit your ad. So you can choose between shop now, book now, sign up, download, watch more, apply now, and contact us. For sending people to your website, we're going to choose learn more. If you had like a DVD or coupon or whatever, best practice is to probably choose another one, sign up or shop now. You get the idea. All right, great. So we have our creative, we have our images. Now we're going to focus on the desktop news feed. We're going to select the desktop news feed, mobile news feed. The right column, I don't see a lot of success with the right column. If you use Facebook, you'll probably notice that you don't really see the ads on the right column. So that's just, wasting your money. So I would probably recommend to remove it. So you go and hit remove. Audience network you can also remove from here. Instagram is new. Today Facebook, because Facebook bought Instagram a few years ago, now it finally introducing the ad option, which is, I have to say, which is pretty first stages. I'm not sure what it can do, but if you have the feeling to experiment with it, you can experiment. For now, we're going to remove it. Now, once everything is ready, we're going to place our order. And Facebook is going to process an order, and if everything is working correctly and we follow the guideline, it will be approved. Okay, great. So, finally, we have our ad campaign ready. And if you remember, it's Distrify Evil campaign. And for that, we're going to go over the ad structure. Sorry. And so before you begin creating your advertisement, or after you created your advertisement, maybe it's a good time for us to go over the ad structure. So Facebook organizes advertisement into 3 levels, and I'll show you the levels. Not that one, Pixelmator, let's hide it. Okay, so these are the levels. Campaign, this is at the top. Ad sets, and the ad themselves. This structure makes it easier for you to organize, optimize, and measure the performance of your ads. Now, the key function here is to remember that you're going to create a lot of campaigns, hopefully, and being organized is crucial for your success. So that's why Facebook is really giving you the ability to review your ads in that manner. This is essentially our objective. So, for example, we may have a campaign to boost our post or send people to our website or promote our Facebook page, whatever it is, it's going to be structured accordingly. Within a campaign, we have the ad set. A campaign can feature multiple ad sets. It's at the ad set level, and this is important for you to understand. At the ad set level, you'll define your targeting, placement, and bid setting. Okay? So, once we created our ad, you're going to see that in order to find it, let's go again. Let's go to our manage ads. Now, because I have a few campaigns set up, you'll see that Facebook is actually displaying the most recent one. So this is our most recent one. This is the campaign itself, okay? Once you click your campaign, it's going to take you into the ad set name, ad set window. At the ad set window, there is another possibility to view our ads in more specific. Now, you remember we chose 3 different images. The reason for that it's called A/B split or A/B testing or split testing. So what we're doing here is that we are experimenting with 3 different ads, 3 different images, and we want to see what kind of image is working best, what is attracting the attention, what getting people to click, and for that we need to experiment. Facebook will basically take those 3 images, it's going to spread it out, and after a day or two you'll be able to see the results. So once you are satisfied with one result, you can deactivate or activate your ad sets. And Nick, this is where Nick, are you here? Nick is not here. Oh my God. Okay. So Nick asked me a few times where can he activate or deactivate his campaign. He can do it in 3 different levels. He can do it at the campaign level. Let's go back. From here, activate, deactivate. Okay, so once you are deactivating your campaign, you're not paying for anything. You're activating your campaign, you're paying for something. If you want to deactivate or activate your ad sets, you're going to the ad set level, you're going to your ads, and this is where you activate or deactivate your campaign. Hopefully this is understood. If not, we're going to go over it. All right. So let's go and see. Now, once you starting your campaign and you get approved, hopefully, you start getting the numbers. And how do you know which campaign is working and which not? And once you get your final numbers, you'll want to go ahead and start making changes. Now, you can do those changes inside the ad set. So how do you do that? You go hover over this edit window for each option. Let's see this ad, for instance. And you can see here a preview, how it looks like. And if you want to see how does it look on the feed, you go to see post. So here we're going to see post. Okay, so this is my ad. Distify your field, this changes everything. Cancel your video, every filmmaker needs to use this. We have our website, we have our heading, we have everything. Let's see if it works. If somebody is actually want to learn more, he goes to my website. Hopefully, he will sign up. Okay, so this is my ad set. Okay, so now let's say I'm not pleased with my call to action. I can go in, I can edit my ad set, and you can see the same parameters as we've seen before. And this is the great thing about Facebook. I can, for instance, I see that maybe I did a mistake and I need to actually do it here. And let's say I want to say distrify your fields. This changes uh, everything. I don't know, something like that. So I can make the changes. Okay, here are my changes. But also, if I'm not happy with my demographic, I see that my ad is not working. I can actually change my demographic. Here, going to Distrify campaign, can change my here my budgets and everything. Okay, let's leave. Let's say I want to change my demographic. I'm going to the ad campaign level, ad set. Here I can change everything. Okay, I can change my location. I can decide that now I want to focus only, let's say Brooklyn, I want to include. I don't know, I found out that I have a better chances with 20 to 45. So in an essence, you can change everything on the fly. So if you're a good advertiser or you are really trying to figure out who is your audience, you're going to follow up daily on your results. Okay. So at the level, this level, we can change the copyright. At the ad level, we can change the demographic. And we can activate or disactivate. And you'll see that every time that you are changing, there is a pending review. So don't be alarmed, it takes a few seconds for it to approve because every time you make a change, Facebook needs to approve it. Okay, so we went over the ad sets, the structure, creating your campaign. Let's go and review our most essential thing, which is accessing the advertising reports. How do I know, how do I figure out if my campaign is successful? So for that, I need to step out of this current campaign and show you something that is more active. So I'll go for a recent campaign that we have launched in Israel, which is Hotline. It's a documentary about a refugee coming to Israel and have this struggle with the bureaucracy. The film was screened all over Israel in independent cinemas, and the goal was to get people to know about the film and go to the cinema and buy tickets. So let's go and see how we are measuring our activity. So let's go back to manage ads. Okay, so let's take Hotline, and you can see the numbers. So for Hotline, I'm sorry it's in Hebrew, but for Hotline we created a lot of campaigns, and for each territory, for each different cinema, we created a different budget. Again, it wasn't a very big budget, it was a very small budget. But here you can see uh, where Facebook is very powerful. It really gives you an ability to understand who is your audience. So that takes me back to how we define our budget. So take a look for here, for instance. This is Tel Aviv and this is Tel Aviv Cinema. More or less, it was the same budget. It was 150. Here it's 350. Uh, but the results were a bit different. Our bidding price was 1.50 euro, and Facebook actually spent 70 cents at one point, and here it spent a little bit less. It spent 60 cents. but here it got us more results than here. So here we got 96 clicks to the website. Here it got us 242. So that gives you an idea how to determine your budget. So if we got 242 clicks to our website, it means that from 242 we got more or less 12% of those converting to people who actually bought tickets. So we spent 350 shekels, and we, let's say 350 is 150 euro. We got back 250 euro because 40 people or 30 people bought tickets for 40 shekels. So that was successful. So that's how you know how to spend your budget. But it only happens once you start experimenting. So don't be discouraged by the first time that you're creating your ad campaign. If you're not able to convert those people to support your film or buy tickets or buy video on demand, whatever, don't be discouraged. You need to keep at it until you hit the right audience, and then your acquisition part is diminishing, and you get more for your dollar. So that's the idea. That's what we want to achieve. So how do we understand the data? And Facebook basically give us everything. So here, this is a summary of I think it was the last month that we did. We got almost 30,000 people to be exposed to the ad. We got 650 people to click the ad. We spent around, I don't know, 250 euros. And now we can break it down to audience. So you'll see Facebook will give you the demographic of how many women were exposed to my message, which is the green here, 8,990. 32% of those actually click the banner. While men, it's 69 and it's better converted. So we paid less for men, more for women. And we also have a demographic of who is our group age. So you can see the 25, 34, 35, 44, and from 44 to 64, it was less relevant. So this is the demographics that we should aim for next month. So it's kind of a funnel. We starting from just a hunch, really, we don't really know. And then the more we are progressing, and again, it's not a lot of budget, it's small budget, we're starting to understand our funnel, we're starting to understand who is our demographic. Timo have a question? Just a second. Let's see the question. Okay, how exactly do you know the people who bought? Okay, so that's a little bit more advanced, but if you remember, let me just take this down. If you remember, at the first time we entered the URL for identifying the Facebook campaign, we had an option to insert a pixel. It's a piece of code that we can insert into our HTML website or whatever code, and that pixel tracking code gives us the ability to track people and how they are interacting with our website. So I can see if the clicks that I got into my website, if those went to my ticket box, or they went to the sign up form, or they went to watch the trailer. Everything is tracked down for me. I can do it with a pixel. That this will be a little bit at a more advanced stage, which I'll go over. Okay, Timo? Okay. Let's see another question. Sarah have joined us. Have only just been able to get on, but heard a message saying I was here. Listen, okay, great. What means audience network? Not audience network, don't pay attention for it, just remove it. Audience network means that Facebook, in an essence, it gets you on publisher sites, but really this is more for huge campaigns and huge budgets. So don't waste your money on it. Let's see, Susan. Okay, so those are the questions for now. Again, I'll have time to go over questions with audio, so I'll be able to give you the ability to speak as well. All right, so again, let's see the demographics. So the demographic data is really important to understand, and I have to say that it will take you a few trials and errors to really understand the numbers. So it might look a little bit intimidating right now, but trust me, you'll be able to figure it out, and it will be very powerful. Uh, the way to determine your data is by going to the columns, and you can go to, let's say, performance and clicks. So let's see how the ad has done. So Facebook gives you the cost per acquisition. Remember, I bid for 8, it's actually 1.45. It spent my whole budget. This is the amount of clicks that I got to the website. This is the CPC value. These are the impression rate. CPM means 12,600 whatever divided by 1,000 and times 1.10. That will give me the CPM. So we are paying for 27 shekels, or let's say €5 per 1,000 impressions. And you can see everything again. You can also break it down according to gender. See your gender in terms of CPC breakdown. Let's see another parameter, age and gender. Okay. So again, you can see the age and gender. And you can scroll down, you can experiment with everything. So the most relevant for now for you is performance and clicks. That's the numbers that you want to know, and you can want to know also how you perform in terms of gender and ages, because the next time you're going to optimize, you're going to see those numbers and you're going to change your age and gender at the ad level. So if you remember, we're going to the ad level. Let's go back. Say that after a day or two I saw those numbers and I want to change. Going to the ad level. Going to edit the ad set. And now I'm going to say, okay, I think that 45 is not relevant for my audience. I think 35 is more relevant. I'm going to change it to 35. 25 is okay. So again, I have a smaller audience to target. I'm going to do the changes here. Maybe add more interest or less interest. Try a few other options, and then I'm going to hit it and save it. And again, Facebook is going to review and it needs to be approved. At any point, you can activate and deactivate. So, in summary, the data is important. Most important crucial issue, just a second, I'll go back. So figure out your CPC conversion. So let's see, performance and clicks. What is the most significant number that I want to figure out? It's my CPC cost. And in the end, just a second, sorry. Okay, so my CPC cost is here, and these are the numbers that I want to hit. 1.92 was the most successful number at the last month, and we also hit 2.37, 2.60. 2.60 is a good number. And those are the numbers that we want to hit. And we want to keep the CPC low, which it was actually the lowest. So for 35 and 44 male, probably that would be a good idea to experiment. So I'm going to try next time 35 to 44 male and see if I can get the same results. All right, let's see, Timo. Okay, that's the last question that you've asked. Okay, great. So in an essence, we have everything. once you start experimenting, you'll be able also to get your accounts sorted out a little bit more, and you'll be able to create your own report. So I'm going to manage my reports. I can edit my report. I can have it delivered to my mailbox with it daily, weekly. And the only people that I can subscribe to this report is myself, the admin, or other admins of the Facebook page. So you need to add them, and you'll be able to get reports to your email. So again, you need to experiment a little bit with it. I don't want to complicate it too much. Billing, you'll get once the campaign is finished, you're going to be billed. Activate and disactivate. Let's see if we forgot anything. I think that's it. I think that this is the most relevant for you at this stage. Hopefully, you'll be able to get the tool a little bit, get the tool understand a little bit better. So, fine, great. Let's go to questions. So, if anyone wants to ask a question, this is your time. Anybody? Just a second. Let's see if anyone has a question. Alexia, Timo, Susan, Sarah. Just a second. Alexia,
See,
you have any questions?
hi.
Hi, hi.
Well, can I speak?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, my questions are, I think the most difficult thing after experimenting for 2 days, because I launched it on Tuesday. It took longer than expected to design a website, so I started on Tuesday the campaign. It's kind of working with clicks. The point is that the conversion clicks to newsletter subscribers is not as good. But I think the difficulty is really targeting the campaign. Mine is too broad. I've already seen it, but I can't figure, I don't, I think the difficult is really to target it properly. Even though my firm is addressed to young people, I don't see how can I address the campaign to young people, because for the stuff I can offer now in the website, I don't see how it can appeal to young people now
With
at
your
this stage.
with your current website design, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
with the stuff I have, because I don't have the pictures of the actors. I only have pictures of beautiful locations and some texts. So far I think only fans do fishing and gardening
Okay.
who are drawn to my website.
I mean, again, something that we need to remember. This is very important to understand that the reason why we are kind of pushing you into the water, although most of you, almost 90% of you, don't really have the final product or the final website, is to get you experimenting. So uh, the more that you experiment at the early stage, once you have the website complete and once you have your material, once you'll have more to appeal to and engage to, uh, that's why you'll be more sufficient and be able to get the Facebook campaign running more smoothly. So now the question is whether after 2 days you can say to yourself, okay, I think that I get the concept and I get the idea, and once I have the
Uh-huh.
finished product, I'm going to reserve whatever budget that I have. I'm going to experiment more, because I guess that once you have your website finished, you have your trailer, and let's say you decide that you want to go to crowdfunding campaign, you'll be able to understand the process much better. So don't be alarmed if you are not able to figure out your audience yet. Do try and
No,
do try and
I don't have the trailer yet, so I don't think it's time to
the
go fishing young people.
yeah, the best thing I would say is that if you want to maximize the value of the, let's say, the experiment right now, is to create a really good banner and see which banner works best. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
if you have time, you can spend a little bit time on the banner, on the creative, on the message, and you can test 3 or 4 images. So let's say one better works better than the rest. Yeah,
Okay.
they're hitting your website, but you don't have anything to offer. It's okay because at a later stage we're going to go over retargeting. Retargeting means that those that came to your website, you can hit again, and you can give them the same message, and they will come back to your website, and then they will do the call to action. But at this time and age, again, it's up to you. But if you could experiment with a few really good banners, that will be very productive for you.
Okay, well, this is an experiment I'm really enjoying because, in fact, it's early to launch the website. It's a temporary website, but I'm really enjoying this Facebook thing.
Cool. Okay, that's the aim. That's the goal. So that's great. Again, I mean, I tend to after doing this a few times with different students, I got the impression that once you have something launched, you are more terrified to experiment. And at an early
Uh-huh.
stage, once you start to experiment, you'll be more confident. You have more security. You have more confidence to engage in a better campaign, and thus reduce the risk of spending a lot of money and not getting results. Okay?
Well, my fear was to burn some audience because the campaign could be too early. The website is not ready and so far. But well, I just work for a beautiful layout.
Yeah, I mean it does price range. Don't be discouraged by burning your audience because the audience is not that big. And also by the nature of Facebook and how things are working, you got them once, you get them again. Okay?
Uh-huh.
That's why we're working with small budgets and we're trying to figure out, it's called a micro pilot. It's kind of trying to test things out, see what works, what doesn't work.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So thank you, Alexia. Let's see if
Thank you.
anybody else has a question. Let's see. Anybody wants to ask a question? Come on. This is your chance. Let's see, Didra. Didra,
Yes.
you're there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So you have any questions that you want to ask?
I don't have any particular question. What I've been doing over the hello everyone. What I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is focusing on actually getting likes onto our Facebook page. So I'd say I've probably spent about I kind of reactivated the account 2 days ago just to kind of loop in with this, but I had done it for the last couple of weeks. I think we probably spent about €200 at this point, and we've probably got about 450 new likes in that.
Okay.
So my goal is to kind of try and hit 2,000 um, by
Like,
the end of the year. From a kind of fan base point of view, I don't have the details in front of me, but we're kind of hitting the 17 to 24 male audience is kind of very clearly the kind of the most active and most interested.
okay. I think that in this regard, again, doing a campaign for liking the page is great, but you can get the same results. Okay, let me rephrase it. Not the same result. You won't
Yeah.
get the same like result, but if you could create an ad and try to get people to your landing page and see the results, I think that for you, especially, it's going to bring you a lot of value. So if you have
Okay.
any budget reserved, I would really encourage you to start an experiment and see how you get people into your website to be interested in your films, as opposed to just like your page, and, and then you'll have to spend more money in order to boost your post. So again, it's just a recommendation, but I think that testing the ad campaign will be very relevant for you.
Sure, no, I'll definitely do that. To be brutally honest with you, I was avoiding sending anyone to the website because we haven't modernized it yet.
Oh,
So,
I see, I see. Okay, so once,
but
once
no,
you'll
I'll
have
definitely do that.
sure. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Go to the next one. Sheila is here. No. Thanks, Nidra. Maria. Hello. Maria. Maria. Can you hear us? Maria is not here. Okay. Nick is not here. Susan. Let's go to Susan. Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi. Okay, hello everybody. So I have several questions. First is the reach which I had. Is it good? Because results, what I told you, 15, reach 100,400. I just launched it on a how-to text on Tuesday, and that's what I got. I just got a lot of likes and website clicks. I don't know. Does it go to the website of Facebook or to my homepage,
So
Book Scout?
my guess is that
Is it?
you've experimented more with Facebook likes, Facebook page likes.
No, I just wrote down that I want clicks to my homepage,
Oh,
Bookscout, which is newly launched, and I wrote an how-to text
okay. And
to.
so you experimented with the Facebook ads campaign.
Yes, this is
Oh,
the result of the line you have. It's like the results. Wait. Yeah, for the 2 days.
cool.
It's
So
like in the lines you have it. 15, where you have, what did you have? Wait a second. 242 you had in the first line results. Reach you at 10,000, which is a lot, and I only have 1,240, 1,040.22. And yeah, so I had a lot of likes, but how do you see what would be the other interest? This I didn't understand.
okay, so let me check again the numbers that you provided. So results you reach 4022, you got 122 likes, web links. So this is the thing that I'm kind of struggling with. So you got only 4 CTR clicks to your website.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
so
is bad, no?
this is, yeah, that's not good. I mean, that's the reason that I'm not sure that on your objective you actually selected to send traffic to your website as opposed to Facebook likes, because those numbers usually you get from boosting a Facebook page. Um I'll try and see your campaign somehow. Probably I'll need to communicate with you, and if you can give me a few screenshots, I'll be able to review them and see what is it exactly that you did there. But yeah,
Okay.
you're supposed to get more side clicks than likes.
Yes.
Likes is not the objective. The objective is to get more clicks. And then once you do that, you need to measure your activities. You need to see what is actually is working, what type of demographic, what type of audience is interacting with your ad. This demographic audience will be your future clients. So once you did your campaign, once you launched it, and you got people to be sent to your web page, those are the people that you want to focus on. Those are the people that you want them to subscribe to your email list. Okay?
Okay.
I'll need
Okay.
so if you can send me a few screenshots, just try and
Just now? Then I have to get my boy.
no, no,
Luca!
whenever
I can send it to you tomorrow.
yeah, whenever you get a chance, you can do that, and I can go.
Okay, because my boy is doing this. I don't know how does it work. Kannst du Screenshots machen? Von dem hier?
You can even take it with your iPhone.
Muss nicht jetzt sein. Machen wir wann anders. We do it somewhere else. I send it to you. And the other question is, can you send us a list with what all these CT, CP,
Yeah,
CPM, blah tells us?
sure.
Because there I'm gone, because all these shorties. Okay.
No, I'll send the definitions once again, and yeah, no problem.
This would be great, a short list. And the objective to get clicks on my with how-tos, the same objective. I need people to come down to clicks, and
Yeah,
clicks is
you need to send people to your website and to a specific page where you want them to get the best call to action.
yeah, because they click the what they read. This is 85. They were reading the text. But for the clicks, then to my homepage, there were not so many anymore.
Yeah, my assumption is that the objective was a little bit off, so we need to look at the objective.
Okay.
All right, cool,
Okay,
great.
fine.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Let's go to Nick. I see that he has joined us. A second. Hi, Nick. Nick?
Hello, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear
I
you.
don't, oh, you can hear me now because I had a message saying I was in listen only mode and couldn't contribute. So I've had a lot of trouble getting onto this, and it's really been very frustrating.
I'm sorry. We're going to have a recording from the whole session that you'll be able to review.
Okay, because when you were moving around the screen talking about stuff, I couldn't see what you were talking about. I didn't see any pointers. It really hasn't made much sense to me at all.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. But I mean, the one question I wanted to ask now that I'm on is, I set up the campaign and I narrowed it down to a particular age and age range and profile, and I got about 6,000. I don't know. It went out to about 6,000 people, and about 115 clicked through to my website, but none of those clicked through to the subscribe to the newsletter.
Okay,
At all. I mean, I had 10 which I had set up through direct marketing, but not through Facebook.
okay. So if the page that you sent me was the page that you directed your traffic, so the main reason for it is that the call to action is not apparent. You had it on your article at the end.
Yeah.
You have it in small print.
No, I have it at the top. I put it at the top as well.
On the menus, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see a call to action, but I did.
So what does it send you to? Does it send just to the general website, or does it send to the specific page? It should send to the page.
It really sends to wherever you configure the campaign.
So it should send you to the page saying Napoleonic Project.
Yeah, but on that page that I reviewed, it was very difficult to see the subscribe. So
it should be up the top there in red.
I'll show you an example. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I'll just show you an example of what I mean. So basically, bear in mind that most of the people that are hitting your site, most of the percentage, let's say 50 or 60%, won't even read your article.
Yeah, okay.
That's why it's so important. So if you see like on my website, I have it like huge. So you can, you have your call to action here. So every time you hit somewhere, you're going to be followed with this call to action mechanism. So in order to make it more apparent, you need to install a call to action on your menu or on your header. Okay, it needs to be apparent. And if you just want to get people to subscribe to your newsletter, you might want to, even if you don't know how to do it on the menu level or you don't have your web guide to do that, the best option, which is not the greatest one, but it's to really to make it in big font. Although Google doesn't like that, but that's the one option that you can do. Just increase the text size and make it very apparent.
So maybe just put a banner at the top like you have there,
yeah? Yeah. And then you are supposed to get a better result. So again, it's okay because this is like more experimental phase. But now, once you start experimenting, you would want to narrow down your specific audience. And also remember that it's not enough just to get people to click the banner. You need to have the relevant people to click your banner. So you would want to try and optimize your audience at that level. And then on the second level, once they hit your website, you need to make it easy for them to understand that this is the call to action. Okay?
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions?
Not for me at the moment. No. Thanks.
Okay. Um, okay. So hopefully, I guess that you didn't see my mouse, which kind of not great. I hope that the other managed to see it. Let's see if anyone else have a question. Susan, Didere, Alexia, Timo, Sheena. Let's go to Timo and see if he has any specific questions. Timo, just a sec. Hi, Timo.
Hi, Kobe. No, I don't have any specific questions.
Cool.
I do have one thing to say about the webinar.
Yeah.
For me, the images are about there's a lag of about 30 seconds, so
Okay.
it makes it. I think Nick has the same problem. So
I see. You have sync issues, like it was slow.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
see.
So, but you said it also says this session is being recorded, so we can watch it. We can watch it back.
Yeah, we're going to review the webinar and see what were the issues. Hopefully, we can improve it. Again, it's my first time as well with this type of webinar tool. So yeah, we expected to have a few issues. Hopefully, it didn't damage the experience too much. All right. Thanks, Timo. Let's go finally to Chloe. Chloe's here. I don't think that she's here. Chloe? Oh. Chloe?
Yes, hello everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear me? I'm good. I was quietly listening to what you have to ask and say, and I'm not really sure if I understood well how to use and not to use, but to estimate the cost per click.
Okay.
Yes, because right now it's very low for our campaign on Taka films, and I didn't really pay attention to the call to action button at first.
Okay, so just
But my main misunderstanding was about this budget per click, because it is very low for us so far.
okay. So you started experimenting with the ads, and you started to get some numbers in. Your bidding price was 1.50 euro.
Actually, I have some budget issues these days, so it was really low at first. My budget to lifetime was not 100, but 40 euros at first.
Okay. Yeah, 40 euro is a little bit problematic because it's very low. So for that, I guess that Facebook would give you like 2 days to spend it, more or less. 40 euro, let me think for a second. No, it's okay for 2 or 3 days to experiment with, but something that I'm not sure if you did it or not. Let's see. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, you see the mouse, the scroller? Okay, so you can see it. Cool. All right, so let's go back for a second and I'll show again where are you supposed to set your bidding. So if you remember, at the ad level, we're going to determine our budget. That's where you're going to edit your ad set. And again, you can make changes all the time. Nick, this is for you as well, because you asked me, I think. So here is again the meter. You see the demographic, and here you have your lifetime budget. If you go down, you're going to see links, clicks to your website recommended. Okay. At this level, you need to choose menu, and here, let's say it was euro, it was 1.50. That's what you did? Chloe?
Yes, you're in again.
Okay, so did you determine your per link click here? Were you able? Because you might have missed it because it's your first time.
No, I missed it.
No,
I'm sorry I didn't do that.
no, it's okay. So here, it's again, this is the most crucial thing to
Okay.
understand. This is your bidding price. So once you decide on a lifetime budget, and if you didn't change that, Facebook would give its own recommendation. Once
Mm-hmm.
once you enter your high bid, you need to bid a little bit higher because the first time you want to understand, you want to experiment and see who is your audience, how, and the more that you are able to beat your competitors, you get more clicks to your banner, and then you'll be able to analyze those results. Okay, so I would
Okay.
recommend. I'm not sure if you burned the whole budget, but if you have something left, change the bid here,
Okay.
give it a day and see what it does. Okay, the aim, sorry, the aim would be again to get a small audience. Do you know how many audience that you have said there? Was it 15,000, 20,000?
I want 30,000.
How much? How many?
30,000.
30,000. Yes,
Yeah.
30,000 is good. And here, this is your main test. So once you set up your 30,000, you bid a little bit higher. Go back to your data. Just a second. Go back to your data and see from the amount of impression how many actually click. Now, if you weren't able to convert a lot of people, it means that your audience, you need to change those parameters. You need to try different audience set. It might be a territory, it might be a different interest. So don't be afraid to experiment. Try and figure out maybe different sets of interest. And then
Okay.
once you get a few of those, you'll see that your conversion will get higher. Okay. So
Okay.
whatever you did at the first time, look at your data set, see according to, let's say, gender and age, uh, who is your best audience. So if you see more women at the age of 20 to 30 clicking your ad, focus on those and adjust your ad campaign. Okay?
Okay.
Again, it could be a little bit confusing at first, but once you start experimenting with it, you'll get the idea. And if
Okay.
you need my help, just let me know and I can go over with you and see your campaign and see if I can assist.
Great. Great.
Coolio, great. But it's good that you started. It's a very good thing. All right, Chloe. Let's see if any other wants to contribute. Miliana is here. Miliana?
Do you hear me?
Yeah. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm fine. Listening very carefully, trying to understand all tips, and once eventually I will implement them all. I hope to do that. No, because I was really, it wasn't that I was lazy, it was that I didn't really have any second of my time to
It's okay.
dedicate to this task and to our homework. So as soon as I do my work, I will let you know all. So I would really appreciate all comments, and I'm really grateful for all inputs received from our group.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Miliana.
Thank you.
All right. So I think that kind of wraps it up. If I didn't forget anybody, Chloe. Let's see, Oli. Oli? Hello, Oli. Your audio is up. I can hear you.
Hey, Kobe, and hey, everyone. So, well, thank you, Kobe, for this. That was really, I think that was super useful to everyone. So, thanks very much. And to everyone, this is like a first for us as well. So, it would be really great if you could give us some feedback. You know, some of you, Nick and Cassia in particular, had trouble connecting. So, it would be useful to know whether any of you had issues or not, or everything went well, just to have some feedback about, you know, logistics, but also about whether you found that a useful teaching tool or not. I mean, what you liked, what you didn't like, just so that we know for the future, because it's a tool we might use, yeah, for the rest of the course and for the next edition of the course. So that would be really nice if you could give us some feedback. So thanks in advance, and thank you again, Kobe. That was really, really cool.
All right, great. Let's see if anyone else have a question. How do I get to? How do I get to manager add from the article page? Okay, so to get to your ad manager, the easiest way to do it is from the drop-down menu here, manage ads. Okay, Susan? Okay, great. Again, experiment as much as possible. This is the time to do so. Don't be afraid to experiment. I hope that most of the stages are communicated correctly and that you are able to understand a little bit more. If you have any questions, I'm available for you, of course. And it was great to speak with you and hear you for a little while. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to get a little bit more fun stuff at Barcelona. So thank you again and have a great day. And that's it. That's a wrap up. Bye bye.